fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Columbus Aviators and the Minnesota Vikings. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20.
First down and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Pick it up. Wide, 622.
Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. It's a loss of 4 on that first play, and it's second down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Out of the gun, Luck. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Joey Bosa make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
2 plays so far, a run and a pass attempt, and both have gone backwards.
Probably not how they drew that up.
Not at all.
Looking for a better play coming up on 3rd. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
11. Check right 54. Right 54. Exit. Hey, exit. 54 is Mike. 54 is Mike. Check. Watch 54. Watch 54.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. He's letting it. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A gain of right around 35 yards on a play that started back inside their 10.
First down.
Just like that, out of danger and up past the 40 now for 1st and 10.
Hey, Delta. I smell fear in that offense. I smell fear in that offense.
Out of the shotgun, it's Jones. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
On 2nd and 11 now. Luck eluding the pressure right. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete.
He kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
11B.
Throwing on 3rd down. Luck. Flushed out right. And that is incomplete. Not the opening possession they were looking for, especially on the road.
No doubt about it, because they wanted to come out and establish a little momentum right away. But now bringing up a 4th down, an empty possession, not what they were seeking.
This one will sail out of bounds. It'll depend on the spot here. And the side judge says that went out at the 7-yard line. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
6 guard. Check 6 guard. Hey, rock it.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. But following the sack, they'll try to change their fortune here on 2nd and 13. Here's the first carry for Northwestern's Justin Jackson. And space opened up a bit. He's able to take this up past the 10. It's a 7-yard pickup. They'll be looking now to 3rd and 6.
It's a gain of 7. Brings up 3rd and 6.
Here we go, here we go. 10-2 stop. Check, 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 check.
Looking to throw. Herbert. And the throw there going to be incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
Here comes Pettis on the return. A great return there of 22 yards. And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10. So good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll be 3rd and 10 now. From the 50, it's Love. He gets it to Cooks. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. The quick slant, good for a 1st down, a gain of 12.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe needs some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
Now a 1st down carry by Jones. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down.
Joey Bosa with the tackle for loss. How about that pedigree in his family?
Yeah, some good pedigree. Tell us about it, Mr. Davis.
Dad played in the NFL, 1st-round draft pick. Uncle is a 1st-round draft pick. He's got a brother coming behind him. But Joey Bosa, guy plays really, really hard and plays all aspects on defense.
He's checking crap.
Now on 2nd and 13. Luck. Buying time to his left. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for 3rd.
A gain of 7 yards. And it's 3rd down.
And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. We're scoreless after 1. This offense on 3rd down today, they've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6.
Check it back. Check 11. Hey, check. Hey, box truck.
Love. This is caught. It's Cooks. And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 20-yard line.
Well, we're used to seeing the guy that you consider the #1 receiver double covered, but how about this guy? He's double covered and finds a way to make the play for a 1st down.
That's how you increase your Madden rating, right?
No doubt about that at all. And you know something? I think we'll hear about that from him soon.
It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and that'll make it 2nd and 12. A shotgun snap for Luck. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Sacked by the outside backer, Telvin Smith. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
Third and long. It's Locke. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle, and it's 3-0 here in the second quarter. Been a bit of a dogfight thus far into the second quarter now, and we do have our first point. It's a field goal.
Yeah, a lot of people say, wow, first action on the scoreboard, about time. To me, the action's been right there on the field, trying to figure out who could gain an advantage, gain some field position, finally get points on the board. I'm loving this kind of game.
It feels like kickers might play a big role in this one.
Yes, make sure you give them the respect they deserve. They could cost you a game or win you one.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
And on the first drive, 3 and out. I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically, what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
The tackle made by Xavier Williams. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Let's go, Heavy. Heavy, what you got? What you got, Heavy? What you got, Heavy? Give me some.
From the gun, Herbert. Flush to his right. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Hey, we got Mike, number 53. Mike, 53.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Herbert, he'll rifle this one deep right side. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now, give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. On the return is Pettis. And when it's said and done, it's a 58-yard punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
He's got the first down and more inside the 40. Touchdown! Brandon Cooks, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And his guys get the quick strike touchdown. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half, 10-0 our score. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 38, and this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line. Parker, the intended target. They brought the house that time on the young rookie, maybe a little rattled through the pick.
And you have to be prepared for a lot of pressure as a rookie quarterback because most defensive coordinators are going to test you that way. So when you see that, the ball's got to get out of your hands quickly, and that means your receivers have to understand.
And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. Joey Bosa in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. So second and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range.
Hey, dude. 54. Mike's 54.
Here's Locke. That's complete to his receiver, Pettis. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
Let's get it.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is third and long. Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. It's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Well, look at the clock here. You're inside of a minute. First half hasn't gone that well for you. How are you going to play this drive?
Well, I've been told by my coaches previously that the intelligent approach, go ahead and run out the clock and start over. Don't make any more mistakes. But there's also something to understanding that you got this last drive here. You get the ball to start the second half. Try and go 2 for 1 here. Get some points now and come out of the locker room and get more points again and get your momentum really built up.
Not wanting to take a chance this time. They'll keep it on the ground. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. One more time, they'll keep it on the ground. And he's not going to sniff the first down here. He stopped at the 25. Now a second timeout called for by the defense as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Fielded just inside the 20. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. We're under 20 seconds to go in the half. I'm guessing the wise play here is be safe.
That is the wise play because if you think about trying to fool them here, here's what you're facing. You're facing a loosened up secondary, playing a lot deeper than normal. So even if you run some type of misdirection, you're only going to fool them for a second or so. And guess what? They're so deep, they're really not going to be out of position. Take the knee, get to the locker room.
Check out. Monday. Watch the screen. Watch the
They'll keep it on the ground again here. 22 yards there, a first down.
A gain of 22 yards. And a Columbus first down.
After the run by Jones, here's 1st and 10.
You got 12. Hey, check. Mike 50, Mike 50. Stop your whining.
From the gun, here's Love. An incomplete, crisis averted, almost picked. Instead, 2nd down.
It's 2nd down and 10.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. From the shotgun, a give to Jones. And he's going to be taken down here as that will lead us to the end of the first half of play. So we've reached the intermission in what right now is a 13-point game. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line.
At their own 24-yard line.
Let's go now.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. They'll run again with Jackson. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking first down.
Hey, we got Mike, number 53. Mike 53. Keep it up, defense.
Throwing on first down. Herbert, they'll set up the screen here to Justin Jackson. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
The throw complete here to Williams. And he's got this down to the 35.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
They run on first down with Jackson. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking first down. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he is... going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage.
A loss of 2 brings up 3rd and 10.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Hey, we got to get this stop here, D. Go.
Operating from the gun, Herbert. He may try and run for this. Boy, he almost did that himself, but it looks like he's about a foot or two short. That was the 9th play of the drive, and they pick up 9 yards with it.
That was a good effort there, trying to do it on his own. But as a defender, you're in a tough spot because you have coverage responsibilities behind you. And if you take off too quick to try and get him down, he might loft it over your head.
So better to track with your man defensively than try to go up and make a stop on the quarterback.
Exactly right. What you're hoping is that your guys in the front 7 can get him down.
The kick by Marr is good. And they will indeed get on the board here, but still trailing. It's now 13-3. So a decent drive there to start the third quarter. They only salvaged 3 out of it, but they inch a bit closer.
Yeah, but still lots of time to go in this one. That's why you hear that clapping on the sidelines, right? Hey, got some points. As you said, inching their way back in. Time left to go out and get that victory.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And, Charles, you'd have to think this is where you want to start taking some time off the clock.
Oh, definitely, because you got the lead, right? You take a good look up there and you say, okay, what do we need to do here? Well, you're not in full-out protect mode. You want to make sure you run it, throw it safe, take some time off, and eat it up.
A nice-looking play to start the drive down the middle and complete. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. Now, he may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down. So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line.
Switch it. Strong right. Come on, switch it. Check safety, check safety. Slam, slam, slam. SOS, SOS, SOS. SOS, SOS, SOS. 58.
This is Jones. Shrugs the tackle.
Nice.
And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great one.
Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. And all the way in for the touchdown. Brandon Cooks. His second touchdown of the game, his third on the year. And his guys now an extra point away from taking a 3-score lead. Point after, right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line.
At their own 24-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Kamale Correa came in there hard on the blitz and got him down 9 yards behind the line of scrimmage. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. It's the Vikings in possession of the football, but they need some points. They're trailing here to start the fourth.
Hey, high 7.
To throw on third down. Herbert. And that will be incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
They're already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on fourth down.
Hey, switch gears, switch gears. Kill, kill, kill. Turn up. Kill, kill, kill. Turn up.
Ready, ready. On fourth down, Herbert. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Anthony Harris. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27. Defensively that time, they were in zone coverage. As a rookie QB, what lesson can you learn there?
Well, understand this. You saw zone in college, and the defensive backs reacted, but they don't react like they do on this level. So when they're in zone and they see the ball coming to them, they'll react at least a half a second faster. You've got to know where you want to go with the ball and be decisive with it. Otherwise, the end result can be something you don't like.
Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And it'll be a 2nd and long. Jones finding room to the 20, and he's got it all the way down to the 12-yard line. That one a gain of 20 and a first down. I tell you, they didn't give it to him much through the first 3 quarters, but when they have, he's been efficient. Maybe they ride him more here down the stretch.
Hey, I'm not sure it was actually in the game plan for him to have as few carries as he has, but it might play out really well for them now. As you noted, they want to ride him down the stretch. He should have fresh legs.
And here he'll get it down to the 7. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a touchdown. Aaron Jones, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And his guys capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. Extra point splits the uprights, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd. A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down.
Hey, echo. Mike, 58, right there. Get it.
On 4th down, Herbert. And it is incomplete. Rashawn Melvin that time able to make the play. Well, at this stage of the game in the second half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter?
Right.
It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game.
Sets him up nicely. 1st and goal. It was a pickup of 14.
Well, that play looks familiar because we saw them working on it in practice this week. And for a lineman trying to block on this play, they love when they get the defense moving in one direction. And when they try and change directions, it's a lot easier to pick them up and ward them off.
And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be 2nd and goal. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. And his first throw here is incomplete.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe he didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, fourth quarter, maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Give him a couple on the run there, and now they're in that in-between area here on 4th and goal. And his kick is right there. It's good, and that will extend their lead even further. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. Good job by their defense, though. They held him to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold.
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Casey Hayward. Parker unable to get that one. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Again, it's Jones. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. From the gun on 3rd down, Luck steps away. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. Luck showing he can be dangerous when he tucks it and runs. He's able to pick up the 1st down. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Running right, Jones. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. They'll go again to Jones. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
I've got an idea. Let's skip racing to the airport at the end of this game. Let's go to the post-game press conference. I have a feeling that the quarterback of this winning team is going to be giving a whole lot of credit to the running game and the offensive line.
Yeah, I was just going to say the offensive line. Yes, carrying the ball has been key, but those guys up front, they've made a lot of space. 23 yards on the pickup there and a 1st.
It's a gain of 23 yards and a Columbus 1st down.
So